exact value. And this error can also be said as the true error. Now, making some, what do you call this, transposition of this approximation, we can compute for the error, the true error, et, so that is true value minus approximation. So we can also solve for the true fractional relative error, or P sub t. No? That is true error over true value multiplied by 100. Also, it is equal to true error that can be substituted with true value minus approximation. So, take time guys to review yung ating last na diniscuss. For a while, over true value multiplied by 100. Next, it is approximate relative error percent, that is EA, that can be computed as the approximate error all over for approximation. Multiplied by 100, of course, because it is in percent. But this approximate error and approximation is sometimes not available, so we can use the other form to equate EA, that is yung gamit natin, that is the current approximation minus the previous approximation all over the current approximation multiplied by 100. So what's next? So when do we know to terminate the equation? No, wala tayo titigil. So meron tayong situation na the absolute value of EA must be less than a pre-specified percent tolerance, which is ES. This ES is sometimes given, sometimes it is not. If not, to get ES, there is a equation of 0.5 multiplied by 10 raised to 2 minus n, that is in percentage, where n is the number of significant figures. So that is just ito na yung kabuuan natin na mga formulas na tinakal last 2 weeks ago. It's just a recap before we proceed to our next topic. Okay. Now that's lesson 2, rules of equation, bracketing methods. Rules of equation. So this chapter deals with the different methods used in finding the roots of equation, which appears in the general for f of x is equal to 0. We can also write this as y is equal to 0. So what is root? What is root? Root is the value of x. The value of x when y, the value of x, nililito na si sir. Uh, value of x so that y is equal to 0. Okay? So example, kung naalala niyo sa inyong algebra na times, meron tayong halimbawa dito natin equation na x squared minus 7x plus 10 is equal to 0. So this form follows the form of a quadratic. Bahin ko lang yung kulay. Quadratic equation. Ano yung quadratic equation na form? That is ax squared plus bx plus c which c. Now, how do we get the value of x in a quadratic equation? If you can remember, x is negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. A is the value here, 1, b is negative 7, c that is 10. So if we are to compute the value of x, we may compute it as 2 and 5. Okay, bakit dalawa? Kasi this is plus or minus. You do for one for plus, you do another for negative. If we substitute these values of x's in this equation, we get the value of 0. Therefore, we can conclude that 2 and 5 are the roots of this equation. Okay? Now, let's get back here at f of x is equal to 0. Paano natin siya ipapakita in a Cartesian plane? So, for example again, we have y is equal to x squared minus 2x plus 1. If we're going to compute for the root of this equation, when y is equal to 0, x is equal to 1. Okay, you try it guys. Kapag nilagay po natin sa equation, y would be equal to 0. No? So, dito sa gilid, mag-draw nyo ko ng Cartesian plane. Yan. So, dito, ang root daw natin ay 1. So, ito yung curve niya. Ito yung itsura ng curve. Sabay ko lang kulay. Itsura ng curve niya ganito. Pangit lang drawing ni sir, no? Ang root daw lies at positive 1 ng x-axis. So, ito yung root. No? Makikita nyo, y is equal to 0. Kaya, root siya ng equation na ito. Yung ating curve, meron siyang equation na x squared minus 2x plus 1. Okay? Halimbawa, ang ating x ay what if x is equal to 2? Lagay natin doon sa equation. So that's 2 squared minus 2 times 2 plus 1. Y is equal to 1. When x is equal to 2 daw, y is equal to 1. So nasaan yan? Ito ang 2. Ang y daw ay 1. So nandito yung nandito daw yung f of 2. No. Dito na yung f of 2. Ito kasi yun yung f of 1. Therefore, ang x2 is not a root of this equation kasi y is not equal to 0. So, yan yung rules of equation. Recall lang yan, sorry, nag-kiss-kiss ang sapatos ko. Recall lang yan sa mga ating algebra, analytic geometry. Okay, so moving forward, ito yung intended learning outcomes nyo. Una is define the different root finding techniques in finding the root of algebraic and transcendental equations. Second is to analyze the different bracketing methods in finding roots of equations. So dito muna tayo magpo-focus sa bracketing methods. Third is illustrate the different open methods in finding roots of equations. Open methods is reserved for another time. Okay? Four is apply the knowledge of root finding techniques in solving engineering problem. So dito na tayo sa bracketing method. Ano ba ang bracketing method? These methods deal with the fact that a function typically changes sign in the vicinity of a root. So these techniques are called bracketing methods because two initial guesses for the root are required. So dito, in a bracketing method, there are two types of bracketing method, guys. One, yung ating next na topic, that is bisection method. The other one is called the postposition method, which we will also tackle in this class. Postposition method. Okay? Bisection method, postposition method. Postposition method is just a modified bisection method. Okay? Now for bisection method, the bisection method is used to find the roots of a polynomial equation. It separates the interval and subdivides the interval in which the root of the equation lies. The principle behind this method is the intermediate theorem for continuous functions. This method narrows the gap by taking the average of the positive and negative intervals. The bisection method is also known as interval halving method, root finding method, binary search method, dichotomy method, and binary chopping method or Bolzano's method. So I will just show you here the concept of bisection method on how it looks like if you would graph it in the Cartesian plane. For example, we have a curve like this. The root is located at that red dot. Okay? Now, sabi sa bracketing method, kailangan daw tayo magkaroon ng two guesses wherein yung guesses na yon ay mapapaloob yung actual na root. Kailangan tama yung guesses. Okay? So dito, meron tayong guesses. Point A and point B. So tama dito yung guesses kasi na-bracket niya yung root o yung true solution. No? After that, gagawa tayo ng mga steps para lumiit yung gap natin. yung pag-enclose dun sa root natin ay paliit na paliit yung interval hanggang yung maging value na nung within that gap is yung actual na ating hinahanap. Okay? So, halimbawa, at first interval, ganyan ang itsura. At second interval, yan, lumapit si B, si point B. At third interval, si A ang lumapit. At fourth interval, si B ulit ang lumapit. So, ganun yun sa bisection method. Paulit-ulit lang. Madaming iterations. Okay? So, dito, steps in implementing bisection method. Una, choose lower XL and upper XU guesses for the root such that the function changes sign over the interval. This can be checked by ensuring that f of XL and f of XU is less than 0. Okay? So, sabi daw dito, explain ko lang, ang ating daw guesses ay dapat kapag pinag-multiply, yung functions nila is less than 0. Okay? So, halimbawa, meron tayong guesses na XL at saka XU. Kapag kinuha natin yung kanilang functions, f of XL saka f of XU, nakuha na natin. Kailangan ipag-multiply natin. At yung kanilang product is less than 0. No? Paano natin malalaman if less than 0? Kailangan negative yung product. Product must be negative. No? Kailangan meron tinatawag na change of sign. Saka ba pwede ilagay dito? Dito. Change of sign. Dapat magkaiba yung sign ng ating mga functions. Kasi dito, lalagay ka na sa upper right. Any sign that is multiplied by itself, that is a positive value. Diba, kapag positive value, that is greater than 0. Okay? Pwede rin negative times negative. Diba, equal yun sa positive. Kailangan natin ay magkaiba ang sign. Dapat positive times negative. Anything that is not multiplied by itself na sign, that would always be negative. We know that a negative number is always less than 0. So, kailangan natin ay yung ganito pong situation. Positive at saka negative yung signs ng ating functions sa pag-initial guessing. Okay? Well, next. Step 2 is an estimate of the root xr is determined by xr is equal to xl plus xu over 2. Dali lang. Kapag nakuha natin sa step 1 yung ating initial guesses, para makuha si xr, minsan ito ay xm. Para ma-determine na siya ay midpoint. Kunin lang natin yung average ng ating points. That's simple. Okay? At step 3, make the following evaluations in which the subinterval the root lies. A. If f of xl is multiplied by f of xr and less than 0, the root lies in the lower subinterval. Therefore, set xu is equal to xr and then return to step 2. Sa B, if f of xl is multiplied by f of xr, then lumabas ay positive, which is greater than 0, the root lies in the upper subinterval. Therefore, set xl is equal to xr, and return to step 2. After step 3, babalik po tayo sa step 2. Now, ano pong ibig sabihin itong A at B? Okay, ito po kasi yung pag-determine ng new intervals. Okay? O dito. Same lang dito sa upper right na portion na drawing ko, ay sinulat ko. Para malaman po yung ating new intervals, kailangan natin hanapin yung change of sign. Okay? Mamaya pag nag-sample problem na tayo, ipapakita ko po kung ano yung tinutukoy ko na change of sign. Now, paano natin malalaman kung kailan tayo mag-terminate ng mga computation ng iterations, kailan tayo titigil? That is, if f of xl is multiplied by f of xr, mag-equal siya sa 0. Pero hindi ito kadalasan na-achieve kapag tayo ay mga 10 iterations lang, 5 iterations. Kaya most likely dito po during problem solving ng problem sets, examinations, susunod lang lagi yung absolute value of EA is less than the pre-specified criterion. No? Ayan. So in the next slides, mas lalo natin makikita niyo yung graphical presentation ng mga step by step. So ang una daw is choose lower XL and upper XU guesses for the root such that the function changes sign over the interval. So this can be checked by ensuring that f of xl and f of xu multiplied product is less than 0. Mag-guess daw tayo ng lower XL at upper XL. So dito, meron tayong nag-guess tayo dito. Ito ay XA kumbaga, saka XB. Ito yung ating XA, yan yung X lower. Ito XB, yung ating X upper. Okay? So yung functions nila, nandito yun sa point ng curve. Ito yung f of XA. Sa XB, ito yung f of XB. Mapapansin nyo kung saan sila naglalay sa Cartesian plane. Yun po yung pag-determine o pag-check kung tama yung ating guesses. Kailangan daw merong change of sign. Tandaan nyo po yun ha. O dito, sa f of xa, nasaan yung kanyang, saan siya nag-lie? Sa positive y-axis. Therefore, ito ay positive. F of xb, saan nag-lie? Sa negative y-axis. Therefore, this is negative. We have functions that are different. The change of sign, positive multiplied by negative, that's negative. So, negative is A is less than 0. So, correct ang guesses natin na points. Ano ba yung point, guys? Baka malito kaya. Points, ito yon, points at the x-axis. Okay? Oh, anong sunod na gagawin? Step 2. Step 2, an estimate of the root xr is determined by getting the average of r points. Di-divide lang natin. So, dyan, makikita na ang xr. Ito yung xr, kumbaga. xr. Kalagitnaan na ng xa at saka xb. Ang sunod pong gagawin dyan, step 3, make the following evaluation in which the subinterval the root lies. Explain ko ito. Dito tayo sa xa. Di ba xa nandito? Ang f of xa dito. F of xr hindi dito. F of xb ito sa baba. paano nyo malalaman kung saan, ano yung section yung iyong i-iterate? Dito tayo sa left side. A, kumbaga. Ito sa B, yan yung right side. Kung makikita nyo, kung i-observe nyo po yung ating graphical presentation, ang pipiliin nyo po kung nasaan yung root. Yung section kung nasaan ang root. Obviously, nasa B siya, no? Pero paano kung walang graphical presentation? Naka-table lang tayo, naka-values. Ang pagbabasen na po natin is yung mga function, signs ng function. Okay, kailangan merong change of sign. Dito sa A, sa step 3, if f of xl multiplied by f of xr is less than 0, the root lies in the lower subinterval. Okay? Lower subinterval, ito yon, left side. Kapag daw, sabi daw, kapag daw greater sa 0, nasa upper subinterval. Dito, sa B side. Bagay mo nga ito. Ito ang lower. Itong upper. Ang inyo pong pagbabasehan kung ano po ang inyong kapag walang graphical presentation, yung mga functions, yung signs ng functions. Dito sa f of xa, nasa taas ng y-axis, that is positive. Sa xr, f of xr, nasa taas ng y-axis, also that is positive. F of xb, nasa baba ng y-axis, so that is negative. Nasaan yung change of sign? F of xa positive, f of xr positive. So that is greater than 0. Therefore, dito sa statement BB, ang root daw lies in the upper subinterval. Nandito sa upper, so hindi sa lower. Kaya itong lower, hindi nyo natin gagalawin. Dito tayo sa upper. Okay? Ano sabi sa B pa? Therefore, set XL equal to XR. Ang atin daw, X lower na bago is yung XR. Okay? Ito na ang new XL. Okay? And return to step 2. Return tayo sa step 2. Na-determine na natin ang new intervals. Ang ating new intervals ay XR at saka XB. Balik tayo sa step 2. An estimate of root XR is determined by, yan, kailangan lang natin hanapin ulit yung midpoint. Nakadali lang. Nakuha na midpoint, i-determine ulit natin kung saan section tayo mag-iterate. No? Step 3 ulit tayo. Ito na yung ating new XL. Ito na ating new XR. Ito pa rin si X upper na to, X upper. Yung mga functions nila, corresponding functions, nasa curve yan. Ito, f of xl. Itong sa f of xr, nandito sa curve na nasa gitna. F of xu, or x upper, dito hindi lang kita. Yun yung f of xu. So, observe niyo yung signs. Yung signs na yung sign na f of xl nasa taas ng positive y-axis, that is positive. F of xr nasa taas ng y-axis, that's positive. F of xu nasa baba, so that is negative. Nasa lang change of sign? Nasa f of xr at saka f of xu. Therefore, ang ating new intervals ay xr at saka XU. Okay? Setting XR as the new, mu, as the new XL. Yan. Pagkatapos ng 3, nag-determine na natin kung saan tayo mag-iterate. Pabalik tayo sa 2. Di-divide ulit natin. Paulit-ulit lang siya. After dividing, 3 ulit tayo. Determine natin kung saan tayo mag-iterate. After determining, i-divide ulit natin. Pansin nyo, palapit ng palapit yung, palit ng palit yung gap between points. Kung ulit-ulitin natin yan, lilit ng lilit yan hanggang yung ating makuha na XR is approximately equal na sa true solution, yung root. So, yan po ang step-by-step ng bisection method. Lalo nyo ito magigets kapag meron tayong sample problem, which is solve for x using bisection method. E raised to negative x minus equal to 0. Tandaan yung form na ito, kailangan lagi naka-equate sa 0 para we can write this as f of x is equal to e raised to negative x minus x. Now, sabi sa step 1, kailangan daw natin mag-guess ng 2 points. Dito ng table, simple table lang. Gawin nyo lang ito yung inyong standard format. The value of x and its corresponding function. Pagandahin na natin ang linya. Yan. Halimbawa, ang ating value ng x is negative 1. Lagay natin na f of negative 1 equal to e raised to negative 1 minus negative 1. What is f of negative 1? We just calculate it with my calculator. That is 3.71828. So, kompleto niyan. So, ito yun, 3.718. What is our next guess? Let's try 0. F of 0, that is e raised to negative 0 minus 0. Therefore, f of 0 is equal to 1. F of 0 is 1. Meron bang change of sign? Negative 1 na f of x niya ay positive. Ang sa 0 ay positive pa rin. So, wala pa. We continue guessing. Let's try positive 1. F of 1 is equal to e raised to negative 1 minus 1. F of 1 is equal to negative 0.6321 by negative 0.6321 dot. So if we can evaluate or assess, nagkaroon tayo negative. Therefore, we can say that our intervals is 0 and 1. Ang root ng equation na e raised to negative x minus x ay nasa pagitan ni 0 at 1. Okay? So, kaya ang ating masasabi dito ay our x upper is, x lower muna. Ang ating x lower, xl, is equal to 0. Ang ating x upper, that's 1. Computing for xr, that's just xl plus xu all over 2, 0 plus 1 over 2, that is 1/2 or 0.5. Okay. So computing for f of xr, which is f of 0.5, that is just e raised to negative 0.5 minus 0.5. F of xr is equal to that is 0.10653. So we have already computed for xr and f of xr para makita natin yung positive or negative ang ating f of xr. So mas maganda yan, gawa natin ng table. We have already computed for xl and xu. We already computed also for xm or yung xr kumbaga. xr. Ito yung ating guys sa approximation. Yung bali natin yung approximation. Now we have already also computed the f of xl and f of xu. That is 1. Also, we already computed for f of xm. That's around 0.106 something. So, nag-round off na lang tayo. Just an example, pero in actual, kailangan walang rounding off. Gumamit po tayo ng shift store. Don't round off po, magkakaroon po kasi tayo ng round off error. Okay? F of xu, that is negative 0.632 something. Okay? Now, paano malalaman yung ating new intervals? Mag-focus tayo dito sa ating mga functions. F of xl, that is positive. F of xm, also positive. F of xu, that is negative. Ang ating reference, itong xm, f of xm po. Reference. Okay? Nasaan po yung change of sign? Di ba? Yung aking in-explain kanina. F of xl, positive. F of xm, positive. So, hindi po sila nag-change ng sign. Kapag pinag-multiply po natin, greater than 0 po sila. F of xm multiplied by f of xu, positive, negative, that is negative, less than 0. Therefore, ang ating new intervals ay ang ating xm at saka xu. Setting xm as our new lower interval. xm na is equal to xl at second iteration. And xu, siya pa rin yun. Okay, I hope everyone gets this. Now we complete for xm. Divide lang natin sa 2. Summation ng xl at xu. 0.5 plus 1 divided by 2, that is 0.75. Now, kung-open lang natin yung mga existing na functions ng mga nauna, that is function ng 0.5 sa function ng 1. That is, bababa lang dito yung 0.107 sa f of xl. F of xu hindi lumipat, so bababa lang siya sa ating table. Then we are to compute for f of xm. We just substitute is value of 0.75 sa e raised to negative x minus x. Makuha na natin yung value ng f of xm. which is negative 0.278 approximately. Now, tapos na tayo sa pagkuha ng functions. Next is, kailangan natin malaman yung new intervals ulit. Ano bang new interval natin? Let's evaluate ulit sa mga functions. Dito, sa f of xl, that is positive. F of xm, negative. F of xu, negative. Kasi yung change of sign. Dito obviously, nasa xl at xm. So yung root natin, nasa pagitan ni xl at ni xm. Therefore, ang ating new intervals is xl at xm. Sa xl, hindi nagbago. XL pa rin, 0.5 pa rin, hindi nagbago. Sa XM naman, we set it as our new X upper. Kaya lumipat si XM ng second iteration sa X upper ng third iteration. Okay, sana po gets yung pag-determine ng new interval. So, okay na tayo dito. To compute for XM, same lang din. We get the average of XL and XU. That is 0.625. Then yung mga existing functions na mga na-compute na natin, ilalagay lang ulit natin sa mga corresponding functions nila. And we compute for f of xm. Our new xm at third iteration, we just substitute it at our equation. If we substitute it in our equation, lalabas dyan is approximately negative 0.0897. We are going to evaluate para malaman kung ano yung ating new intervals. For f of xl, that's positive. F of xm, this is negative. F of xu, this is negative. Now, nasa yung change of sign? Obviously, nasa f of xl at f of xm. Positive and negative. No? Ngayon, ang ating new intervals na is xl at saka xm. XL hindi lumipat, 0.5 pa rin. Sa XM naman na bago, I mean yung XM at third iteration, siya na yung ating new XU. Kasi yun na yung new intervals natin. Okay? Now, i-rate lang ulit natin yung mga existing na, ayan, yung ano, sunod dito. Sunod ay, compute for XM. Just get the average of 0.5 and 0.625. Lalabas dyan, 0.5625. Nakopihin lang natin yung mga existing na functions na yung mga na-compute na natin. Hindi na kailangang computein ulit kapag na-compute na. Okay? So, okay na tayo sa f of xl, okay na tayo sa f of xu. Lumipat lang naman ang pwesto. Computing for f of xm at fourth iteration, ilagay lang natin ng value na xm sa ating equation. A raised to negative 0.5625 minus 0.5625. So, mauna natin ng f of xm, that is approximately 0.007. If itutuloy natin, para malaman yung new intervals, so dito tayo sa functions, f of xm, that's positive. F of xm, that's positive. F of xu, that's negative. Nasa yung change of sign? Nasa f of xm po, at saka f of xu. Therefore, ang ating new intervals ay talagay na at fifth iteration. Ang ating new interval ay yung ating xm at saka xu. xm ay magiging new xl at fifth iteration. Therefore, ang ating intervals at fifth by ano ang xm? 0.5625. Ano ang xu? 0.625. So, yan yung bisection method. Before we proceed, subukan natin ipag-compare yung ating approximation sa exact value. Ito kasi equation na ito is kayang computin ng exact value. So, the exact value is 0.5671. Ito yung exact. Ano ang ating approximate? That is, at fourth iteration, 0.5625. Saan po sila nagtugma? Okay sila sa 0, okay sa 5, okay sa 6, pero mga sumunod, hindi na. But if we are to still make further iteration, most likely, magtutugma na po yung ating exact value at saka approximation. Kasi yun po yung purpose ng numerical methods. We make many iterations para mag-converge sa exact value. Either it will be 10 iterations, 20 iterations, or more than 100 iterations. Yan po ay kadalasan nagko-converge, meaning our approximation will be equal to the exact value. Okay, I hope you guys get that. Before we proceed, meron pa tayong tanong kasi meron tayong next sample problem para ma-apply yung ating yung ating tinuro ngayon lang. Okay, wait lang. Let's proceed. So dito, recall lang naman ng ating last 2 week ago na diniscuss yung approximate percent relative error. SEA. So simple lang yan. Dito na lang, alam niyo naman ito. Current approximation minus previous approximation all over na current approximation multiplied by 100. Sample problem again. Solve for x using bisection method. We have x cubed minus 3x minus 5 is equal to 0, where the pre-specified criterion is 0.2%. So ano una natin gagawin is determine the guesses, the intervals first. So una muna natin gawin ay mag-write dito ng table. Wait lang. Wala. X and f of x. So halimbawa, una muna, 1, halimbawa 1. If x is equal to 1, ano yung value ng f of x? So dito sa baba, computin natin. F of 1, that is 1 cubed minus 3 times 1 minus 5. F of 1 is equal to, let me just calculate it for you guys. Negative 7. F of x, negative 7. Let's try 2. F of 2, that is 2 cubed minus 3 times 2 minus 5. F of 2, that is negative 3. So dito sa ating table, wala pang change of sign. So we continue guessing. Let's try 3. F of 3, that is 3 cubed minus 3 times 3 minus 5. F of 3 will be equivalent to 13. Nagkaroon na tayo ng change of sign. Saan? When x is 2 and 3. Kasi dito, merong negative, meron tayong positive. Sir, bakit po hindi 1 ang ginamit natin? At hindi 1? Kasi kapag 1 po ang ginamit mo, miskin na 2 at 3, mas lalayo po yung interval. No? Halimbawa na lang, ito yung ating Cartesian plane. Meron tayong ganito. Halimbawa, ang guesses natin ay itong points na ito, itong isa, itong isa, itong isa. Now, bakit mo papipiliin yung interval na itong mas malaki ang agwat para mahanap yung isang point sa pagitan nila? Wherein, pwede mo naman piliin itong mas maliit yung agwat. No? Kasi kapag mas malawak ang agwat, mas madami pong iterations ang gagawin nyo. Kumpara dito sa mas maliit po yung agwat, mas maliit lang na iterations. Okay? So, yan. Ang next gagawin natin dito, mag-conclude muna tayo. We can conclude that our intervals would be two and 3. Okay? Wherein our x lower is 2, x upper is 3. So we have already determined the values of x upper and x lower. That is 2 and 3. We now can determine the value of xm. That is just x lower plus x upper all over 2. So we just substitute, that is 2 plus 3 all over 2. That gives us a value of, I believe this is 2.5. Yeah, it's 2.5. Now computing for f of xm, that is f of 2.5. So we just substitute in our equation, that is 2.5 cubed minus 3 times 2.5 minus 5. F of xm is equal to 3.125. Now, anong sunod na gagawin kapag nawan natin ang xm? Sabi, we determine the new intervals. So, mas maganda dito ay gumawa tayo ng table. Pero in-offer, kapag solution solving na ay kailangan niya ilagay dito kung paano niyo nakuha. Paano niyo determine without using a table? Halimbawa, we have f of xl. F of xl, that is, anong f of xl? That's negative 3. F of xm, that is 3.125. F of x upper, that is 13. Dito, kailangan natin hanapin yung change of sign. Change of sign. Reference natin guys, f of xm. F of xl, that's negative. F of xm, positive. F of xu, positive. Ito, positive. Kapag pinag-multiply nyo, positive is greater than 0. What if xn and xm? Pag pinag-multiply, that's negative. That would be less than 0. Therefore, we can say that our new intervals would be xl and xm, where xm is our new x upper. Kapag tinable nyo na yan, mas maintindihan nyo ng mas mabuti. So dito, kumpletuhin ko lang. Ano ba yung xl? That's 2. Ano ba yung xm? That's 2.5. So, yan yun ang ating bagong intervals. Determine natin ang new intervals. Then, balik tayo sa step 2. Kukunin na ulit natin ang xm. Paulit-ulit. Okay? So, mas maganda, may table. So, ito yan. So, already computed for xn. That is 2. X upper, that's 3. F of xl, nakapit na natin, negative 3. F of x upper, that's 13. Also, we have computed for xm. And f of xm, that is 3.125. Dito, subukan natin i-determine ng nasa table. F of xl, that's negative. F of xm, positive. F of xu, positive. Nasa ng change of sign? Nasa f of xl at saka f of xm. Therefore, ang ating new interval, guys, ay xl at xm. Where xm is our new x upper at second iterations. Okay? So, xl, siya pa rin yun kasi hindi na bago. Ang x upper lang na bago is our xm ng first iteration. So, this is 2.5. Ito mga functions, kopyahin lang natin sa baba kasi yung iba naman ay hindi nagbago. So, f of xl, siya pa rin. F of x upper, na po yung f of xm noong first iteration. So, i-relate lang natin dito. F of x, xm, computin ulit natin. Just the average of 2 plus 2.5. So, that is 2.25. So, getting f of xm, calculate lang natin. Pero hindi ko na ipapakita yung calculations. Gusto nyo naman na ilalagay lang po, isa-substitute natin po sa equation. Itong nakuha natin xm. At ang lalabas po diyan ay negative 0.359375. So let's evaluate again. F of xl is still negative. F of xm, that's negative. F of xu, that's positive. Nasaan yung change of sign? So f of xm at f of xu, that's both negative. So hindi. F of xm, f of xu, magkaiba. So therefore, we conclude that xm and xu are new interval for third iteration, where xm at second iteration will be our new x lower. Okay? What is xm? 2.25. Ano yung ating new x lower at third iteration? Where na x upper, hindi po magbabago. Okay? So, ililipat lang ulit natin yung mga existing na functions. So, dito na ang 0.3, negative 0.359. So, hindi ko na kompletuhin. Sa f of xu, siya pa rin kasi hindi nagbago ang location na xu. Computing for xm, that is 2.375. Just the average of xn and xu. So substituting this value in our equation, we get 1.271484375. Okay? Ulit lang, let's evaluate again. F of xl, that's negative. F of xm, that's positive. F of xu, that's positive. Where's the change of sign? Nasa f of xl at f of xm. Therefore, ang ating new intervals ay xl at xm. And setting xm as our new x upper. Excuse me. Okay. So, si x lower daw siya pa rin. Let me just change the ink. Ang ating new x upper is our old xm. Our previous xm. Balikan ko lang ito. Naka-state pala dito ang ating ESI 0.2%. So, titigil na tayo when EA, approximate relative error, is less than 0.2%. So, mamaya natin siya computed. So, dito tayo sa mga functions ulit. Ililipat lang natin yung mga existing natin. So, sa 2.25, f of x hindi nagbago. So, ililit lang natin dito. Sa f of xm naman, lumipat sa f of xu. We compute for xm again, that is just the average of xl and xu. So, we get 2.3125. Substituting these values in our equation, so we get the value of 0.4289550781. So yan, guys. Most likely gets nyo naman ito. May tanong ba kayo? Kasi papasubok ko po sa inyo hanggang 8 iteration. So kung wala po kayong tanong, subukan nyo po siya hanggang 8 iteration. Bibigyan ko po kayo ng mga 10 minutes to solve this. Just try. And I will randomly call names para magsagot. Okay? Ang itatanong ko dyan, ano po yung ating new intervals? XL at saka XU. Now, what is the value of XM? Also, what is the value of f of xm? Okay? So, to start na po ang magtanong around 11:33. Okay? So, yun. You guys try this. Tanggalin ko yung aking, mag-meet lang ako.